This is your boy, Tone DeShields II, and you guys are locked in on another dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm always grateful to be here in the presence of the beautiful people. Excuse me, you guys. I'm too excited today. Let me slow down. Beautiful people. I'm always grateful to be in your presence because I love talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. I love chatting up with you guys. I love kicking it with y'all. I don't take the opportunity for granted, so we're going to get into the content. You guys know how we do it here, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show, especially if you're new, and only if you like the content. That's the biggest thing for me, right? I want you guys to like what you're hearing. I want you guys to vibe with me, even if we agree, even if we disagree. I want us to be able to have this reasonable dialogue, right? Because I correspond with you guys, in the live chat. I'm always leaning on you guys to provide, various perspectives. So you guys are truly a part of this platform. You guys are truly a part of the show. And hopefully you guys consider yourselves to be a part of Chalk It Up Mafia. So I'm so grateful for you guys for being here. Again, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. And also, after you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell. The notification bell, as you guys know, reminds you whenever the content goes live. And you want to make sure you are on the right side of history. You want to make sure you guys are on time. But most importantly, make sure you guys are here for the right time. All right. You guys saw the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure we've heard the rumors circulating about Haason Reddick post trade to the New York Jets. The Philadelphia Eagles got a conditional third-round pick in 2026 that could turn into a second-round pick. We were split pretty much on what they got back. A lot of us felt like they didn't get enough back. Some of us were pretty indifferent because we knew this thing was coming down the pipeline. Regardless, we all had our various opinions about how this thing should have went and how it did go. But the latest rumors around the Philadelphia Eagles concerns Haason Reddick and infamous reporter for the Philadelphia Eagles, for the Philadelphia Inquirer covering the Philadelphia Eagles, is Jeff McClain. So apparently, and again, I want to make sure I add context to this, right? Jeff McClain was on 97.5 The Fanatic today. And he spoke to Kincaid and Salcionis. It was, the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. guys, right? He spoke to Kincaid about Haason Reddick being moved and the aftermath and what led up to it, things of that nature. And he brought up the idea or the notion that there was word around the organization that Haason Reddick, along with other players, were quote unquote freelancing, right? And I'm sorry if you guys are experiencing some connection issues, some Wi-Fi issues. I depend heavily on it. So, but again, the word around town now is that Haason Reddick was chasing sacks in his last year at the Philadelphia Eagles, especially as things started to wear down on the back end of the season. The quote is, and again, I listened to the whole McClain interview, by the way. I didn't just rely on some tweet. I didn't just rely on some segment to give me insight on this Haason Reddick situation as he described it. But this particular quote, he says, I think there were some concerns about him, as in Haason Reddick, chasing sacks. I don't know if that's what specifically Fletcher Cox was referencing, but I heard from people in the organization that Haason was one of the guys they thought was doing that. But he also mentioned Josh Sweat. And obviously Josh Sweat He was another player that was potentially on the trade block, right? That was another thing. So here's my spiel about this, right? Here's my thing. And again, I've interviewed Jeff McClain on more than one occasion when I was on Sports Take with my guy Rob Ellis. Shout out to my guy Rob Ellis. I hope you're doing well, my friend. But I've had opportunities to speak with Jeff McClain, on Sports Take. Uh, seems like a good dude. Seems like an honest guy. Um, I'm not going to take this opportunity to shit on Jeff McClain. That's not what I'm even here to do because that's not even how I do things. I just want to dissect what he said and see if I can add any credence to it, or if I believe it, or if I disagree, or just overall my reaction to it. Because at the end of the day, he is a microphone, right? And what I mean by that is whatever he hears from the organization, he's going to echo it so the people can know. And that can rub people the right way. And that can also rub people the wrong way because you have some parts of the fan base who feel like a lot of the media makes up a lot of the stuff they talk about. Some players believe that as well. You got other people on one side of the fence that believes everything the media says when it comes to their favorite teams and so on and so forth, right? My point is there are people in this business who are honest. There are people in this business who are not. And that's just life. And I don't think Jeff McClain is someone that I deem at least to be dishonest. Now, have I read Jeff McClain's work and said to myself, I don't know how I feel about that. But he doesn't really write from a place of opinion that much. I'm sure he does, but he doesn't really write in the way of opinion. He tends to write based off of what he knows, what he's heard, and he's relaying it. But again, that's not up for me to convince you guys, right? That's up for you guys, to use your own discernment when it comes to media and how you process information when it comes to the team. But like I said, like the thumbnail says, I truly, truly hate when stuff like this happens. And you guys, please rock with me still. I know the internet is a little shaky right now. I apologize. But I can't deny that I get so frustrated when we hear things like this after a player gets traded. And again, this isn't even about Jeff McClain. This is about just the idea that Haason Reddick, Josh Sweat, chasing sacks, right? And I know when we hear chasing sacks, it seems a bit ingenious, right? Well, he's a pass rusher. What else is he supposed to do? He's supposed to chase sacks. He's supposed to get to the quarterback. But there's an art to pass rushing. Guys have responsibilities. Guys have roles. When guys are rushing the passer, they're not just rushing the passer blindly. There's a goal in mind. There's spots on the field where, although they are supposed to rush the passer, there's spots on the field where they're supposed to be at all times, regardless of rushing the passer. You may have a directive to rush the passer, but you also may have a directive to set the edge and not over pursue. And when I hear chasing sacks, I hear over pursuing. That's how I process that. Again, I know a lot of you guys look at that phrase chasing sacks as like, duh, what else is he supposed to do? He gets paid to rush the passer. I understand that sentiment. Trust me, I do. But when I hear chasing sacks, I don't hear it as, well, duh. I hear it as, oh, these guys were over pursuing. Therefore, they were freelancing and playing out of position, which in turn can put other guys out of position. Bo 1990, he says Sweat over pursued plenty last year. I could agree with that. There was a lot of games where I said to myself, damn, like, well, where's the containment? S. Blunt, very good point. It means you're breaking the scheme. You're freelancing. You're doing what you want to do. And that's what happens when guys get frustrated. Again, I cannot confirm nor deny this. All I can do is go off of what Jeff McClain is relaying that he heard in the organization. Jeff McClain is a well-decorated reporter for one of the most well-respected publications in the city of Philadelphia. You can't get that far in life by being a liar and a scheme artist. Eventually, it catches up with you. So when I hear Jeff McClain say that, and even then, I don't think he was saying it in a way to slander Haason Reddick. I don't think he was even saying it in a way to make Haason Reddick seem like some sort of bad guy, right? I think he was simply relaying what he heard. And typically in life, what we always do is we like to kill the messenger instead of really dissecting the message. I think that may be the most frustrating thing when it comes to not only sports talk, but political conversations, any sort of dialogue that goes between the confines of the mass media or digital media, network media, however you want to describe it, however you want to break it down. The problem that we have here is that we tend to kill the messenger instead of focusing more so on the actual message. If you guys are just joining the live stream, we're discussing the latest rumor by way of Philadelphia Inquirer reporter Jeff McClain as it pertains to Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat and them potentially over pursuing or chasing sacks. Because that's what I hear when someone says these players were accused of chasing sacks, and it frustrated guys. Remember, Fletcher Cox was on record saying that there were guys freelancing out there. And typically you freelance when? Typically you freelance why? Because you don't trust what's being taught to you, what you're being told, and you're frustrated. That is a recipe, that is a cocktail for disaster. That is a recipe for dysfunction. When you don't believe in what you're being taught and you're frustrated in how things are going. So it's very reasonable to surmise that as this team began to unravel more and more, and the defense was getting cooked week after week after week, and pass rushers are unable to get to the quarterback because DBs can't cover long enough for them to get to their spot and bring the quarterback to the ground. There were so many things going wrong. Linebackers can't cover. No, Jerome Anthony, we're not going to let it go. You want to know why? Because this is how this thing works. As news comes out, as rumors get planted, we have to address them. So we cannot just let it go. For one, this is the off season. And thank you for being here, Jerome. I appreciate you. But for one, this is the off season. When the off season's here, things get a little cold. So you have to find a way to cultivate content for the people you care about. And I care about you guys. Now, I'm not going to sit here and manufacture lies. But what I will do is continue to keep my wheels turning and continue to challenge and respond to what's being put out there in the zeitgeist. So no, we can't move on because new news or new rumors have been acquired or have been put out there in the ether. For us as spectators, fans, supporters, digital broadcasters. The reality is, as information flows, we have to move with the current. And the news that came out today, or the rumors that came out today, is that Haason Reddick, along with Josh Sweat, because I don't want this to seem like just a Haason Reddick thing. Jeff McClain made it clear that, that's prone to happen when guys are in contract years and they know that their income, their pay is based off of their production. So you're going to try to produce as much as you possibly can, even though the team may not be playing well. This is a league that judges you based off of production, right? And Haason Reddick, most notably, has been the most productive defensive player for the Philadelphia Eagles over the past 2 years. But this season wasn't as productive as last season, especially falling off on the back end. Not just him, other players as well. Josh Sweat, not as productive as the 2022 season. You follow what I'm saying? So those two players in particular were in contract years, and they knew rather, that if they didn't produce, that could impact their potential contract negotiations. And when you're thinking about self more so than team in the heat of battle, it's impossible to get to the ultimate goal. So as the team was crumbling, players started to think for themselves. Players started to freelance, a la what Fletcher Cox was saying. Fletcher Cox said this. This is on record. It's not a lie. Fletcher Cox is one of the most respected Eagles in the building. He retired recently. And he said guys were freelancing, doing their own thing. Jeff McClain comes out and says, yeah, the rumor around the building, the word around the building is that the team was frustrated, or the organization was frustrated with guys like Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat because they were, quote unquote, chasing sacks, chasing them. And I internalized that as over pursuing, not being where you're supposed to be because you're more concerned about the play and how you benefit from it rather than how your team benefits from it. I believe in one band, one sound. If you've seen Drumline with Nick Cannon, you know what I'm talking about. One band, one sound. One goal, one objective. Win the game. And it's near impossible to do that when you have a lot of guys on the team thinking for self. And again, I don't know this to be true. I don't know this for a fact. But what I can see, or what we saw, was the fact that this team crumbled on the back end. That defense was non-existent. They had no fire. They had no cohesion. It seemed like it was a bunch of one-on-one football going on. I didn't see guys that believed in the vision. I didn't see guys that believed in what they were being taught. Guys stopped tackling. Guys stopped committing their bodies to the goal. We saw that. So when Jeff McClain comes out and says, hey, word around the building is Haason Reddick, Josh Sweat, they were chasing sacks. And I don't know if this is, he even said, I don't know if this is exactly what Fletcher Cox meant. But I mean, when you follow the breadcrumbs, you follow me? So I want to get to y'all takes about this, right? I want to hear, I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Bo 1990. He says Sweat over pursued plenty last year. I'm willing to agree with that. Trey 979 says it's the equivalent to halfbacks bouncing it to the outside instead of following the blocks. Absolutely. Absolutely. The play says go between the B gap, but you decide to bounce it out to the C gap because you don't want to get touched. It's unacceptable. A guy who's just here says, I agree. Sweat was caught out of position a lot. Absolutely. What's going on, Pretty Mimi? My man Terry Hayes. Terry Hayes says they got a job to do. If they don't do it, other people have to pick up the slack. I hear you. A guy says over pursuing out of position equals chasing sacks. Bingo. That's what I hear when I hear that, right? You have some people who kind of just say, well, duh, they're pass rushers. They're supposed to chase sacks. Come on. Think deeper. Think more critical. Like, no shit, their job is they're rushing the passer. But they also have places where they're supposed to be. They have gaps they're supposed to shoot. They can't let guys break containment. You have to pass rush with discipline and intentionality. So yeah, a guy who's just here over pursuing out of position equals chasing sacks. Absolutely. Chad Crawford says they had no respect for coaching. No respect for coaching. He also says didn't buy in anymore. The guys didn't buy in anymore. Of course, we kind of knew a lot would come to the surface. Absolutely. Which is why I always ask myself, how did these players grade Nick Sirianni with an A if we're seeing this type of dysfunction or this level of freelancing, guys doing what they want to do? Now, granted, Nick Sirianni is in control of the offense at the time, but you're the head coach. This is your team. You have to be responsible for this. S. Blunt says it was payday for Haason. How does he get paid? By his sack count. Absolutely. Absolutely, S. Blunt. We addressed that too. We got 59 people on the YouTube side, 42 people on the X side. Make sure you guys please smash those like buttons. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports. I really appreciate the love. Thank you. And make sure you guys hit that notification bell. It means a lot. S. Blunt, you're right. At the end of the day, these guys get paid off of their production. They get paid off of what that stat line says at the end of the day, because it's funny. Stats don't tell the whole story, but when you're in those negotiation rooms, when you're in those conference rooms talking about your money, oh, the numbers tell the whole story. Isn't that funny? The numbers don't tell the whole story, but when you're trying to get paid, it tells the right story. Believe it or not. So can you blame Haason Reddick or Josh Sweat for over pursuing and trying to get sacked so they can pad their numbers? Can you blame them knowing they're in contract years? Can you blame them knowing they're trying to get paid? Can you blame Haason Reddick when he knows he's been underpaid for the past 2 seasons? Well, no. Because the first season you signed the contract, you did what you did, and it was what it was. Was he overpaid in year 2 with the Eagles? Probably. But again, it's like I see both sides of this thing, but the reality is this, right? Although it's rumored that the Eagles feel like guys were freelancing and chasing sacks, and although Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat are guys that are entering contract years and they're trying to get paid and secure the longevity of their futures and their families, I understand both sides of this thing. Truly, I do. Follow me, you guys, please. I understand both sides of this thing. But this is where I land. At the end of the day, this is a team sport. And football's the ultimate team sport. And don't worry, S. Blunt, I'm going to get to your super chat, my brother. I got you. I'm going to get to you. I got you. Although I understand both sides of this thing, Eagle side, player side, or let's just put it this way, organization side, player side. I understand both sides of this equation. Truly, I do. But where I fall in is this. When it's game time, when you're in season, your job is to do what is needed from you with max effort. And I don't doubt Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat played with max effort. Josh Sweat was on the field for a career high in snaps. And I know that's not what the Eagles want. Josh Sweat, Haason Reddick, I don't question their intensity, their work ethic. I don't question their effort. But I do question their diligence when things got frustrating. I question that. And I don't say that with means to disrespect. I don't say that from an angle of I know better than them, because I don't. All I'm trying to do is connect the dots and make sense of this hodgepodge of dysfunction. Edge rushers, D tackles, linebackers, corners, safeties, they all have responsibilities. And you guys know this. And when one guy deviates from their responsibility in order to achieve their own personal goal, that can throw a monkey wrench in the entire defense. That is a fact. On offense, the receiver can run the perfect route. The quarterback's feet can be perfect. The offensive line can block tremendously. But if they blitz and they send one extra guy and the running back doesn't pick up his block, the perfect route, the perfect amount of separation, the perfect offensive line performance, the perfect throw, the perfect footwork by the quarterback can all be offset by one player missing his block. One player out of 11 missing their block can ruin an entire play. One edge rusher over pursuing, not allowing the quarterback to break containment and not committing himself to his gaps can quite literally dismantle the perfect defensive call or play. Were there games where I felt like to myself, damn, Haason, you over pursued? Come on, man. Were there games where I said to myself, damn, Josh, you over pursued? You allowed him to break containment. You can't do that. But there were games where I pointed at other players and I noticed things about their performance that rubbed me the wrong way. This wasn't just this isn't just a Haason Reddick problem. This isn't just a Josh Sweat problem. This was a coaching and culture issue that's rooted in a lack of leadership on the defensive side of the ball. The fact of the matter is, and we all saw this with our own two eyes, the players lost faith in what they were being taught. In the midst of the collapse, these players started thinking for themselves and started playing one-on-one football instead of believing in the overall vision. And then on top of that, you put them through a coaching change in week 14, week 15, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before the playoff starts. Are you dumb? So can you blame a player for freelancing when the organization began freelancing themselves? Can we blame the player? It's very easy to blame Haason Reddick. It's easy to talk shit when he leaves. And I'm not saying that's what Jeff McClain is doing. I want to make that very clear. This isn't about Jeff McClain. This is about the fact that the rumor exists. Jeff McClain is just doing his job. But the fact that the rumor exists is the issue. The fact that we're even having this conversation is the issue. Can you blame Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat and many others for freelancing when the Philadelphia Eagles began freelancing themselves? My man S Blunt with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my man. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. He says it was payday for Reddick. How does he get paid? By his set count. So it's possible he was breaking out a scheme. Entirely possible. Entirely possible. My man, the Lohi DC, he says, is the trade more understandable now in your opinion? More understandable? More understandable? I don't know. I mean, I always felt like it was about money. I personally never felt like it was about anything else. I genuinely felt like it was about money. So, I mean, the trade was. I always understood the trade, Alohi, and thank you so much for holding it down in Hawaii, man. I appreciate you. I always understood the trade. It made all the sense in the world to me. But did I agree with it? No. I feel like you got to figure it out somehow. But they obviously felt like they couldn't, and things happen the way they happened, and that's okay. It's a part of the game. But this didn't provide any more insight as to why he was traded to me. He was traded because they couldn't meet on a number. That's just my humble opinion. Thank you, S Blunt and Alohi DC for donating to the channel. I appreciate it. I really do. My man 63 Mortis says, Tone preaching right now. Where his sweat rag at? Listen, my man, I'm not trying to shortchange you guys. I want you guys to truly feel me when we had these conversations. Right? I have a responsibility to give you guys my all when we're having these conversations, whether I agree with it or not. Trey 979 says Jason Babin, 20 sacks, one of the worst Eagle seasons I've witnessed. Absolutely. The season was a shit show. A guy who's just here says he signed a deal a couple years ago and wanted a new one. The team just wanted him to honor his contract. Sometimes shit don't match up and tough decisions are made. Absolutely. And I think that's what it was too. I think it was, listen, at the end of the day, you signed that contract in 2022, Haason Reddick. You signed that contract. And again, I'm all for players going to get every dime that they can. I'm so for that. I want that for players. I'm never mad at a player for wanting to maximize his value and squeeze a team for whatever he can. I'm not against it. But I'm also a guy who respects contracts and respects my word. You signed the deal, 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed in the bank. Did you have a spectacular 2022 campaign? Absolutely. But so did everybody else. A lot of people did. Did you single-handedly wreck the NFC Championship game and send your team to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. That is valuable. That is legitimate. Haason Reddick was a lightning bolt in 2022. That is a fact, and it's undeniable. You can't debate it. He was a lightning bolt in 2022. But you signed that deal. You signed that deal. 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed. Average salary of $15 million. If you felt like you were worth more, then you should have got more. And you shouldn't have settled. But you put up the numbers you put up. Fair enough. 19 and a half sacks in 20 games. Very electric. Very electric. And your sacks weren't just regular sacks. They were clutch sacks. They came in big moments. They came in some of the most important moments of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. So not all sacks are not created equal. All records are not created equal. Our 11-6 is not the same as, I think, the Texans 11-6 or something like that, right? The Texans 11-6 is stronger than our 11-6. I think they went 11-6. I'm not entirely sure about that, but you get the point. You signed the contract. Did you outperform it? Sure. But you still had 2 years left. You came in, you performed in the second season, you did your thing. Was it year one? No, it was 11 sacks, which was actually on par with what they paid for. Let's keep in mind, you guys. Let's keep this in mind. And I always expect players to ask for extensions and more money when the guarantee money goes. Keon, I know this. Come on, who you're talking to, Keon? I know this. Come on. I know this. But let me spit game to you like this. Year one of the contract, $15 million. He gave you 19 and a half sacks in 20 games. Okay, he outperformed the contract that year. 2023, 11 sacks. He performed on par with the contract. You want to know why? Because here's the reality. In 2021, when Haason Reddick was with the Carolina Panthers, you want to know how many sacks he had? 11. He had 11 sacks in 2021. You want to know how many sacks he had in 2020? 12 and a half. So if we're doing math here, because accuracy is important, 11 plus 12.5 is 23 and a half. 23.5 divided by 2 is 11.75. So basically, Haason Reddick between 2020 and 2011 averaged 11 sacks. Between 2020 and 2011, the last year in Arizona and the only year in Carolina. Those were his first 2 double-digit sack seasons back-to-back. Those 2 seasons prompted the Philadelphia Eagles to pay Haason Reddick $45 million, $30 million guaranteed over the course of 3 years, average salary of $15 million. 11 sacks on average every season, $15 million. In 2022, he comes in, he outperforms the $15 million mark. 19 and a half sacks in 20 games. Spectacular. He comes into 2023. They ask him about his contract. He felt like he outperformed it. Okay, fair enough. You're still entering year 2 of the deal. You still have $15 million in guaranteed dollars left in year 2. He comes in, and what does he do? Oh, he performs at his average level, which is 11 sacks per season, which is how he got the contract in the first place. So is it fair to say, oh, in 2023, he was paid amicably? He was paid on par with the mark that he signed the contract in the first place. Does that make sense when I say that? Does that make sense when I say that, people? I need to know. My man Terry Hayes, the $5 super. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. He says 5.5 hours and I'm on OT for the rest of the week. I hope we can get a decent defense this year. I don't think it will be coaching this year. Hey, listen, man, Terry, get that money. Get that money, man. Get that coin, big dog. Go get that coin. Happy for you, my man. And also, I hope the defense is decent this year too. I hope defense is at least decent. Period. Thank you, Terry, for the $5 super. I really appreciate you. Keon says, I'm not arguing that. He deserved an extension for the work he did here. They wanted to give him one, but the problem was they couldn't meet on a number. They wanted to extend him, but he wanted more money. And that is okay on his part. That's okay. See, we keep talking about he deserved an extension as if the Eagles didn't offer him one. The Eagles wanted to keep him. But it takes two people for a deal to work. Hold on, time's out. Hold on, time's out. Hold on. We not about to play dumb here. 2020 Vision says, Tone, the salary cap going up, bro. He signed a cheap and proved himself he signed cheap and proved himself deserving of more. They screwed him, bro. Honestly, $25 million that Haason wanted isn't asking too much. Nick Bosa is on a $34 million seat. Bro, with all due respect. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to even entertain the Nick Bosa part, because if I entertain that, that's going to lead to me disrespecting Haason Reddick's production. But this is what I'll say. He signed the contract in 2022. The contract became a problem in 2023. I'm not understanding what you're not understanding. He gave them, listen to this, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it slower. In 2020, try to listen and listen good. In 2020, Haason Reddick put up 12.5 sacks. In 2021, he put up 11 sacks, which is an average of 11.5 sacks between the two seasons. Before Haason Reddick signed his contract with the Eagles, over the course of 2 seasons, one in Arizona, one in Carolina, he averaged 11.5 sacks. He went to the table with the Eagles, and the Eagles said, hey, Haason. He was a free agent, by the way. This wasn't a sign and trade. They didn't already have his rights. He could have went anywhere. And he decided to come to Philadelphia, and he signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed, with an average salary of $15 million a year. So in theory, year 1 and year 2 were guaranteed in the bank. Year 3 was the only year without the guaranteed money. And that was the year we're going into now, 2024. So again, he averaged in 2020 and 2021. He averaged 11.5 sacks over the course of those 2 seasons, 2020, 2021. Arizona, Carolina. He averaged 11.5 sacks. With that production, because let's be frank about this, he didn't get that contract because of the production from the first 3 years. Because his first 3 years in Arizona, he only put up 7.5 sacks between 3 seasons. He didn't get that contract with the Eagles based off of his first 3 years with the Cardinals. He got that contract with the Eagles based off of the Carolina year and his last year in Arizona, where he averaged 11.5 sacks between the 2 seasons. So therefore, when he went to the table with the Eagles, based off his production at that time warranted the contract he got. He was happy with it then. He comes in 2022, outperforms the contract, which is fine. He outperforms the contract. Did he deserve more money after that year? Sure. But here's the thing. On that current contract, they guaranteed the first 2 years. So, brother, with all due respect, play out at least the first 2 years, then we can talk. He did that. And guess what happened? The production regressed to the mean. The production went down to his average of 11 sacks per season. If you want to be technical, Haason Reddick has been very consistent. The only outlier year was 2022. And granted, that was an outlier year for everybody. So if he averaged 11 and a half sacks between 2020 and 2021, got the contract with the Eagles at 15 million per season, then he outperformed that. Okay, he doubles back. And then he gives you 11 sacks in 2023, and you want to convince me and say that they screwed him somehow? How? I'm not buying that. Just not. Now, did I want Haason Reddick to go? No. I wanted Haason Reddick here in Philadelphia. That's what I wanted. I wanted Haason Reddick in Philadelphia. But he had a number that he had in mind. The Eagles had a number that they had in mind. And he did not want to move off of it. Or the Eagles did not want to move off their number. So therefore, he got traded. He got traded. Am I happy about the trade? No, I'm not. I'm not happy about Haason Reddick not being in Philadelphia. I'm not happy about it at all. But it happened because both sides couldn't come to an agreement. The player thought he was worth one amount. What? Who are you to say that? Who are you to say that? Hold on. Tone, 11 sacks was worth 18 million when he signed, but he took a discount. But the edge money today has gone up. He's not on both sides, but those 11 has what? How can you quantify and say 11 sacks is worth 18 million? How can you quantify that? How do you come to that conclusion? How? And then on top of that, the Panthers didn't want to re-sign him. So you had to weigh every variable. And at the end of the day, he did not have to sign a deal. What? What are you talking about? This is how you know dumbasses don't listen. This is how you know people don't listen. And I don't normally talk to my people like this, but it's frustrating when people don't listen. You're not listening. I am not happy with Haason Reddick not being in Philadelphia. I am not happy that these rumors are circulating. I am not happy about any of it. But guess what? You want to know what I am okay with? I'm okay with the player saying, you know what? You don't want to pay me? I'm going to find somebody that will. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with an organization saying, hey, you know what? We love you, but we don't love you that much. We can't pay you that. We don't want to pay you that. I'm okay with two sides standing where they stand and not moving. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because you know what it tells me? It means that, you know what? You drawing your line in the sand, and you drawing your line in the sand, and you have a certain respect for yourself, or you have a certain respect for your vision that you're not willing to be compromised on. I am totally okay. I am totally okay. See, but here's the thing. Yeah, I got strong views, but the reality is you're not going to try to imply that I don't know what I'm talking about because you don't agree. So I'm going to come with the fire, and I'm going to hold you accountable, just how I expect you guys to hold me accountable. Because when I'm on here talking, I expect y'all to hold me accountable, and I also expect y'all to listen. And when I feel like you're not listening, and I feel like you're trying to hear what you want to hear, I have to address that. For example, Keon says, if you're okay with him leaving, just say that. That tells me he's not listening. Can somebody tell me when I said I'm okay with him leaving? Can somebody tell me that? What do you even mean by try to diminish the player? What do you even mean by that? Make it make sense. If you're okay with him leaving, just say that. But try to diminish the player. What does that mean? Somebody explain what Keon means right now when he says this. And I have respect for Keon, by the way, because he showed up to the platform and he's showing love to the show. So I appreciate that first and foremost. But we're having dialogue here. And it's important that I understand where my constituents are coming from so we can meet. So we can meet somewhere. I value my constituents. Okay. He says, you basically said because his sack numbers went down, you're okay with them not paying him. What I'm saying is because his sack number went down, and if I put it this way, because his sack number regressed to his average, am I okay with them not paying him? No. But again, they weren't not trying to pay him. But he wasn't trying to move up his number. That's the problem. All I'm trying to get you guys to understand is whatever number he had in his mind was not going to fly. What I'm saying is because the sack number went down, they were okay with not paying him, or they were okay with offering whatever they plan on offering him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this organization, the Philadelphia Eagles, said to themselves, okay, you did what you did in 2022. You also did what you did in 2023. We would love to extend you, but the number has to make sense. Haason Reddick, I don't know what he wanted. I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles offered. But guess what? I'm willing to bet the Philadelphia Eagles offered him more than $15 million. I'm willing to bet that. That the Eagles offered him more than what he was making. I'm totally willing to bet that. I don't think they was asking him to take a pay cut. I don't think that. I think the Eagles had no problem paying him, but the number had to make sense. And according, Haason Reddick clearly had a number in his mind. The Eagles clearly had a number in their mind. I don't know the exact figure. That's why I'm so eager to find out what they paid him, or what the Jets are going to pay him. I'm so eager to find out what they're going to pay that man because it's going to tell us a lot. I'm so eager to find out. But overall, back to the original conversation. The fact of the matter that, and again, if you guys are just joining, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show, especially if you're new. I appreciate the love and the support. Make sure you guys also hit that notification bell. And again, I want to make something real clear. You know, despite my passion, despite my energy, I appreciate the dialogue because what it does is it creates content for us. So I want you guys to know, don't be slighted or don't feel smited by my passion. My passion mixed with your takes can lead to a lot of great conversation and dialogue. So don't take it personally because I don't take it personally. I care more about making sure we find this common ground that we can say, okay, all right, I hear you. I may not agree all the way, but I hear you. And I think that's reasonable to say. So regardless, back to our original conversation. And like I said to you guys before, I hate that I even still have to address the Haason Reddick situation. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I hate that we can't just put this shit behind us. I hate it. So when someone says move on, I kind of get what they mean. Like part of me is like, I feel you. But the other, but the other part of me is like, but it just came across the news desk today. We gotta address it, right? We gotta address this rumor that guys were chasing sacks. And I want to reiterate this. This conversation is not about slighting Jeff McClain. Simply, what we're doing is just addressing what was said and trying to find the breadcrumbs, follow the breadcrumbs. This is not about Jeff McClain. Jeff McClain is just the echo. He's just the voice. Jeff McClain is the echo of the voice. The rumor is the Philadelphia Eagles accused players like Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat of chasing sacks. And I know when some people hear that, they say, well, he's a pass rusher. He's supposed to chase sacks, right? And it's like, okay, sure. But when they say chase sacks, what I hear is players over pursuing, players not having gap discipline, things of that nature. That's what I hear. And then when you couple that with the fact that Fletcher Cox, when you couple that with Fletcher Cox saying, you know, we had some guys doing their own thing, guys that were freelancing out there, all that kind of stuff. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, because he's on record saying that. When you hear that, you got to question, okay, what the hell is really going on? You got to question what the hell is really going on, because Haason Reddick and Josh Sweat, were they freelancing? I don't know. But I know that I saw guys over pursuing. I know that I saw guys not having gap discipline, especially in run defense. I saw all of those things. And here's the thing, too. When you're chasing sacks, you're more susceptible to getting hit on the play action. When you're not disciplined, when you're not a disciplined pass rusher, you can get gouged in play action. And the Eagles got lit up in that. Shizzo, I understand your angle, Shizzo. Trust me. I understand what you're saying. I don't want to talk about Haason Reddick either. He's not even here anymore. He's not even here anymore. But the fact of the matter is, he got traded last Friday, and it's something that we didn't like. And then more rumors are coming out about how things went on the back end of the season. Today, a new rumor came out today. Now, are rumors truths? No. But Jeff McClain, a guy who has a reputation, a guy who's a decorated reporter, would he really go on such a station as The Fanatic and make up a story about the Eagles believing that players were freelancing? I would like to think that that wasn't the case. But I'll say this, though. Can I really get mad at players for trying to make something happen? Can I really get mad at players for freelancing when the coaches were freelancing them damn selves? Can I really get mad at them? You're in a contract year. The defense is shit. Y'all can't stop the run. You can't stop the pass. The pass rush has lost its fire. You guys aren't tackling anymore. Oh, by the way, we're going to demote Sean Desai and elevate Matt Patricia to run this defense. So now you're trying to completely overhaul the complexion of your defense in a matter of weeks on the fly. And you're expecting players to just buy in and just do exactly what they're told. It's not that easy when you're changing language, you're changing assignments, you're doing all this on the fly. And you're expecting these players to just go out there and produce. You damn right they're going to try to make something happen. You damn right they're going to freelance because they don't trust you. They didn't trust you. Eagles fans, Sean Desai had his good weeks and his bad weeks. He had his good weeks and his bad weeks. We all can say that. Sean Desai wasn't perfect at all, but he was a constant voice. They knew what the scheme was. They knew the terminology. At the end of the day, they didn't have to question their knowledge. You follow me? Although Sean Desai was up and down, the one thing the players didn't have to question was the knowledge. They didn't have to question the terminology. But when you take out Sean Desai and you put in Matt Patricia and you expect the players to just flip a switch, are they dumb? And by the way, Keon, great point. I mean, Sean Desai did lead them to a 10-3 record. They were 10-3. And then they decided to axe Desai. Because remember, when they were 10-1, they had just beat the Bills. Then they lost to the Niners. Then they lost to the Cowboys. And then they had to go to Seattle. And that was when things switched. We were 10-3. 10-3 when they made the switch. 10-3. Again, Sean Desai wasn't perfect. He was a new DC. They were feeling this thing out. But when you just strip him of his responsibilities, when you just cut his balls off and you put Matt Patricia in there and think the players are just going to just, oh, thank God, that's not how that works. They were full of themselves. That was arrogance. It was desperation. It was uncharacteristic for the Philadelphia Eagles to make that move the way they did it. It was uncharacteristic. And not only did they take his rights away, they didn't have the balls to fire him. They demoted him and kept him in the building. So fucking disrespectful. So disrespectful. So I come to you guys with this level of passion because I care about you guys, right? And at the end of the day, we're consumers. We're consumers. We pay for the tickets. We paid for the Kelly Green fucking jerseys. We pay for parking. We pay for the concessions. We all got hardworking jobs. Some of us are blue collar. Some of us may be white collar. We pay for the NFL season passes, the Sunday tickets, and Red Zone, and we do all this stuff to worship the Philadelphia Eagles. We commit ourselves to the vision. And that thing went how it went. I'm sorry. I'm always going to speak for the people. I'm always going to speak for the people. I'm sorry. I get it can be abrasive. I get that it can be a bit edgy. But you guys invest a lot of money in this team. You guys invest a lot of yourselves. The Eagles lose on a Sunday, it fucks up our week. Does it not? So they made a lot of they made questionable moves. They made questionable moves on the back end of that season, and they got desperate. They were desperate, and they didn't trust their own process. They didn't commit themselves. You hired that man. You ride with him. He got you to 10-3. He got you to 10-3. You ride with him. You ride with him. Because at the end of the day, although things may not have been perfect, you don't want players questioning what their jobs are. You don't want players questioning what their role is. You don't want players freelancing out there. Did the Niners come in and smack the Eagles? Yes. Did the Cowboys smack the Eagles? Yes. But those two teams were hot, and we were not. But you had a chance to bounce back and still beat beat Seattle. You had a chance to beat Arizona. You had a chance to beat the Giants. You had a road that was paved for you. You just did the one thing you couldn't afford to do was panic. And you did it. You panicked. That's the one thing you couldn't afford to do during that stretch was panic. They panicked. Because again, like I said, at the end of the day, was Sean Desai perfect? No. Was that defense perfect? Hell no. They were bad. But at the same time, I say to myself, you know what? I'm rolling with it still because I don't want to create more problems for myself. They created more problems for themselves by demoting Sean Desai. But now we have Vic Fangio in the building. And what will Vic Fangio bring to the table? What will Vic Fangio be able to provide to this defense? Does he provide respectability? Does he provide accountability? Vic Fangio is a well-respected guy around the NFL. That's a fact. He's been in the league this long. That's a fact. You don't last this long in the league without evolving and also without having the proper relationships. For those of you that are just coming in, thank you so much. My ex family, my YouTube family, thank y'all. We got 74 people on the YouTube side, 69 people on the X side. My people on the X side, don't hesitate to come to the YouTube side, man. Don't hesitate. The YouTube side is fun. I really appreciate you guys, regardless. But make sure you come to the YouTube side too, so you can hit that like button. If you guys are just coming in, please hit that like button. It means a lot to me. The like button is currency. The like button helps the content grow. So make sure you guys hit that like button, man. I really appreciate it. Shizzle says, so what about Hurts and AJ freelancing? Didn't like it. I didn't like it. So that answers that part of the question. I didn't like it. Not one bit. And AJ admitted to it. We got to keep that same energy. Oh, yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. Granted, that's not they weren't who the conversation was about. But to your point, yes, they freelanced too, and I didn't like that shit either. I didn't like that either, Shizzo, just to make it clear. So I'm always gonna keep the same energy. Football is not a sport where you can freelance. Everyone has a responsibility. Everyone has a job to do. And in order to get to the goal, everyone has to do their job accordingly. Shizzle says, also, he'll want to rework that deal next offseason. He has no more guarantees in the contract. Well, let's put it in perspective. Remember, his contract was an extension. So therefore, when the Eagles traded for him in 2022, that 2022 season was the final year of the rookie deal. His new contract just took effect in the 2023 season. So fair enough. You can make an argument after the 2024 season, the guaranteed money is pretty much gone because they only guaranteed essentially half of the contract. They guaranteed 57 million in the contract. So in theory, the guaranteed money is pretty much gone. And he is going to probably want to rework that deal, obviously. Do I expect them to figure something out? We'll see. We will see. Because that is something that is going to have to be addressed. I'm confused. I'm confused. What's a bad take? Michelle. Are we really sitting here comparing Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes? I don't want to go down this route. I do not want to go down this route. Stop what? Stop what? Players freelance all the time. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. You sound idiotic. You sound idiotic. Like what? Players freelance all the time. What? What? I'm not messing your point up. I'm reading exactly what the hell you're saying. I said NFL players, I didn't say they can't. I say you shouldn't. I didn't say can't. I say you shouldn't. No, I'm responding to Michelle. Shut up, Teddy. Shut up, Teddy. That's why it's important to at the person you're speaking to so they know you're talking to them. But regardless, though, Well, hey, Flexing, tell him to at you next time. Tell him to at you next time. Because I'm shooting at everybody that's shooting at me. I'm shooting at everybody. If you're shooting at me, make sure he at you, Flexing. Make sure he at you. But anyway, back to Michelle. Okay, don't, can't, whatever. The bottom line is this: my point still stands. When my point still stands, when they call a play, you have to run that play. Now, can quarterbacks audible? Can quarterbacks audible? Yeah, that happens all the time. Quarterbacks audible, hot routes, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is called improvisation. Thinking on the fly. That's all that is. Yes. I guess if you're calling audibling and calling hot routes freelancing, then I mean, yeah, sure. I guess. Yes. Like, I mean, we're splitting hairs. But the reality is, especially on defense, because the conversation was about defense more so than anything, not offense. Offense leaves a ton of more room for flexibility or creativity, rather. Hey, live chat, handle Michelle. Handle Michelle. Handle that. Handle my light work. Live chat. Handle my light work, please. Hey, Flexing, handle my light work, bro. Where was I? A guy who's just here says an audible is still a structured play call. Exactly. There's still structure. There's still structure to this sport. I don't know if, hey, listen, fitness, I don't know if it's a she, he, they. I don't know what it is. But yes, an audible is still a structured play call. Hot routes, all that stuff is still structured. All that stuff is still structured. So, look, the reality is the conversation was about the defense, right? Because offense lends to more creativity from players. The offense, and I think we all can agree to this, the offense lends more to creativity. The defense, you have a structure, and you can't freelance on defense. If there's any side of the ball, you cannot freelance on defense. Do we all agree with that? Do we agree with that? On defense, the last thing you need to do is freelance. That's the last thing you need to do on defense. And that's what the conversation was about. That's what it's about. So oh man. Oh man. But anyway, yeah, they are out. But that's how you know you winning. Hey, Chin. Hey, Chin. That's how you know you winning. Because no, flexing, you good. Hey, flexing, we here with it. Flexing, we here with it. You all good, flexing, we here. We all good. But here's the thing, right? The reality is, whether we like it or not, and I swear, for God, I want this Haason Reddick shit to die. I really want this Haason Reddick stuff to die. I don't want to keep hearing this stuff leaking through. Like what is this? I don't want this stuff still leaking through because I hate it. I like all this rumor and conjecture and all that stuff. I can't stand it. Teddy, yo, Teddy. Oh my God. Oh man. Hey, Sylvan, I hope you realize. Hey, listen, we having fun, right? We addressing every LJ, my boy. LJ, my boy. What's going on? My boy. LJ's my guy. Hey, listen, y'all. Check out Sylvan Davis. Check out Sylvan. He says, bro's passion is saying the same shit for 30 minutes straight. YouTube ain't for everyone. My guy, first time listening and last time watching. Well, I'm glad you packed your bags. I'm glad that you came and you went. But let me just give you a little insight, right? Let me just give you a little insight about how sports talk works. When you're live for hours on end and people come in the show, people come out of the show, people are just hopping in, you have to take care of those people, right? Perfect example, my man LJ. My man LJ just got here. He doesn't know what we're talking about, but you know what's important? It's important for me to give the same passion, give the same energy, and fill in LJ about what's going on. Because LJ just got here, or whoever just got here. So if you heard the same thing for 30 minutes straight, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. Sorry. But, you know, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you went. Have fun somewhere else. I'm glad I had 30 minutes of your time. So I think I won that part. Like, I don't think he understands how YouTube works. My man LJ with the $20 super with the Canadian money. LJ came in with the Canadian dollars, eh? I appreciate you, LJ, man. I really appreciate the love, man. I really appreciate the love. No, we having fun tonight. Listen. This is fun. This is fun. At the end of the day, this is all fun. I need you guys to realize, like, this all just adds to the content. Disagreeing, agreeing, all that kind of stuff. It all adds in. It's all a part of the big old ball of content. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys, especially LJ donating the 20 Canadian dollars. Oh my God. Oh man. Thank you, LJ, for the 20 Canadian dollars, man. I really appreciate it. Yo, you were Cody at? Anyway, all right. So, again, thank you, LJ, for the $20 super. All right, let me ask you guys this question here. Let me ask you guys this question. Should we be concerned about y'all are distracting. But again, stop bringing up Diddy in his live chat. I keep telling y'all about this. Stop bringing Diddy up here for real. Stop bringing that man up here. That's a nasty man. But like, did he do it? Did he do it? Did he not do it? Yo, that's wild. Listen, they've been calling him the diddler. They've been calling him the diddler. Oh my God. But anyway, all right, let me get back. So let me get back, man. Bryce Huff, right? Bryce Huff is here, and Bryce Huff is supposed to replace the production. Now, I have my concerns, honestly. If you guys are new to the show, if you guys have been here, you guys pretty much know my concerns. Can that motor hold up? Can that motor hold up? But also, Nolan Smith, he has to be a player. Nolan Smith is someone who has to be a player. Hey Bobby, I can't vouch for that. I can't vouch for that. Hey, listen, we can't vouch for that, right, LJ? But anyway, Nolan, Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, listen, he got to come back stronger too. He got to come back with a deeper bag of tricks. You know what I'm saying? Philly 007 says Huff is a non-factor until the season starts. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I agree with y'all. Huff got a lot to prove to me. He got a lot to prove to me. It's a lot of pressure on Bryce Huff, a lot of pressure on Nolan Smith, a lot of pressure on Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. It's a lot of pressure on Nakobe Dean too. That defense was so bad last year. That defense was so bad last year. Terry Hayes with the $5 super. He said, I have to ask you, bro, it's off subject. You ever listen to Kevin Gates? If not, you should check him out. Bro, Kevin Gates is my guy. Kevin Gates is my dude. Have you ever been treated like you wasn't shit? Backstabbed by the because you was rolling with? Treated bad by the bitch because you wasn't rich? Laughed at by the niggas because you wasn't? How many people had to walk? They had to catch a ride. The bus just passed by, but they were now on time. The block just shut down. You got to stay on grind. Come on, man. What? Kevin Gates, that ball. Come on, man. Kevin Gates, that ball, man. Yo. Took a lot of loss, had to bounce back. What? Yo. Kevin Gates, that ball, Terry. For real. Kevin Gates, that ball, man. Hold on. He said, I cut off my finger to save my hand. This is how I got established. I cut off a knee and made him dance. Chris Brown, Michael Jackson. My heart goes out to the young chop in the industry. They gonna blackball. I'm so hard with the Gert cock. I'm in the streets in the pack calling. Yo, what? Yo, Terry, I'm a Kevin Gates fan for real. I'm a Kevin Gates fan for real. He said, I so hard with the gun cock. I'm in the streets with the pack calling. Crash site 7 minutes from my house. Rest in peace to the Black Mamba. Yo, anyway, let me move on. Let me move on, man. Let me move on, man. Let me move on. But yeah, I definitely am a Kevin Gates fan, though, man, for sure. Flexen said, yo, y'all gotta chill, man. Anyway. He said, yo, Sylvan, come on, dog. He said, bro, another solid 15 minutes straight. Just when I think I'm done, bro, pull me back in with the Kevin Gates, bro. I fuck with Kevin Gates, man. I like Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is that dude for me, man. Yo, matter of fact, the Kevin Gates, what's the Kevin the Kevin Gates Ride Wave song? I hope you feel the same way. Remember that, John? Now, listen, I know now I'm in a whole nother bag, y'all. My bad. But the Kevin Gates Ride Wave song. This goes out to my blood brothers. Hope you don't change. I ride for you. I hope you feel the same way. Oh, man. All right. Anyway. All right. This is what I want to do before we get out of here, right? I want to go through some of these draft prospects with you guys. That's what I want to do. My man Lamar Cotton with my brother. My brother. My brother. I love you, bro. All right. Let's look at some of these draft prospects. All right, so we did our whatchamacallit yesterday, right? Right, 100. But where was I? So let's see. So we did our mock draft yesterday, and I want to go through some of these prospects with you guys, right? I want to look at the linebackers. I want to look at the linebackers. All right. So let's start with Dallas Turner, right? Because they got him quantified as a linebacker / edge rusher. He's the top linebacker prospect. Let's go through some of these. So Dallas Turner, let's look at his draft profile. I like to use NFL Draft Buzz when it comes to the draft profiles. Their mock draft machine is a little wacky, but other than that, all right. So Dallas Turner, 6'3", 247 pounds with the Alabama. Hometown is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Man, how did they let him get out of Florida? He was a linebacker / edge rusher. They got him as the #1 ranked linebacker. Final season, he had 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 53 tackles, 28 solo. So they have him as an edge rusher. Had a 4.46 40, 21 years old. Wow. His measurables are insane. 4.46 40, 40.5-inch vertical, 1.5 14-yard split, 127-inch broad jump. Great arm length. Height and weight are solid. 6'3", 247. Hands are all right. Man, whoever get their hands on this kid, man. 5 stars all the way around. All right, so let's read the scouting report on Dallas Turner, Alabama linebacker edge rusher. Okay. Let's break this down here. Let's make this a little bit more readable. There we go. All right. As of right now, we're reading Dallas Turner, Alabama edge rusher / linebacker. We're reading his scouting report. It says here when it comes to his strengths. Dallas Turner is an incredible athlete. Put on a show at the combine where his testing was off the charts with the 4.46 second 40-yard dash time, as well as a 1.54 10-second split. He also had a huge 40.5-inch vertical jump and a 10-foot 7-inch broad jump. He exhibits exceptional first step quickness, providing a decisive advantage and explosiveness off the snap. Displays adept change of direction skills, adeptly navigating through blockers with a green light to pursue. Combines fluidity and flexibility with athletic prowess, effectively covering zones and tracking swing routes. Improved outside rush technique from 2022, showcasing an expanded and refined pass rush arsenal. Possesses the necessary arm length to set the edge and keep offensive tackles at bay. Effectively utilizes his frame to slip through tight spaces in run defense while keeping his outside arm unengaged. Significant enhancements in play strength, now converting speed to power with greater frequency. Demonstrates a nuanced pass rush plan, showing weekly advancements in hand technique and leverage. Oh, is this man AI? Is this man a cyborg? They say he continues to learn. Every week he's learning something, adding something to the bag, adding something to the repertoire. Let's look at his weaknesses. Now, here's the thing about some of these weaknesses, y'all. Sometimes the weaknesses directly contradict the strengths, and that's what blows my mind every single time. So here we go. Here's Dallas Turner's weaknesses. Remember, he's the linebacker / edge rusher for Alabama. It says here, Dallas Turner needs to bulk up his frame to withstand the rigors of the NFL. Struggles to maintain ground against multiple blockers or when engaged head on. Run defense is predicated on leveraging angles effectively. To elevate his game, he must develop the ability to overpower opponents in close quarters. While his lateral movement is smooth, it lacks the disruptive force seen in other elite edge rushers of similar size in the league. Speed to power conversion shows promise, but lacks consistency. Effectiveness is dependent on perfect timing and execution. Hand technique needs refinement and increased ferocity to shed blockers efficiently. His run game awareness and tackling require further development. Has less than ideal height for the position, but his longer than average arms help mitigate this. So basically, he's a rookie. Basically, all these weaknesses is like, oh, duh, he's a rookie. What do you expect? Yeah, he's a smart player. Yeah, he's going to develop all those kind of things, but he's a rookie. You know, LJ, appreciate you, man. It's all love. Thank you for coming in and showing love, bro. And also, I appreciate you for donating to the channel. I appreciate your $20 super chat, man, even though it is Canadian money. Even though it was Canadian dollars. But shout out to LJ. I appreciate him. But yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think the Eagles are going to even be able to get their hands on Dallas Turner, if I'm being honest. I really don't. Let's try to go to some positions that they could get their hands on. Right? Okay, yeah. You know what? I didn't look at Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Because I know a lot of people want the Eagles to draft him, but I'm sorry. He's just undersized. Like he's tremendously undersized, man. Look, I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but he's dog. He's built like a running back. Look, 6 feet, 228. No, man. Nah, man. I can't roll with that. I just can't roll with that, man. I can't roll with this. He's 6 feet, 228. That's just like, what? I can't roll with that. I can't roll with that. I can't roll with that, man. Chin says they are taking an offensive lineman first round. Listen, I wouldn't put it past the Eagles. I would not put it past them to do some shit like that. I hope Dean is. Listen. I hope Dean is a player. You guys, I really do. I really do. But yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to read. You know, let me read it. We're here. So just look at this, man. He's a box linebacker. He ran a 4.6 40. 21 years old. 6 feet, 228. 31.5-inch arms. 4.4 shuttle. I mean, none of this is really impressive. Maybe the 40. ESPN grades him as a 5-star prospect. 24/7 Sports and Rivals.com has him as a 4-star prospect. The player comparison, they compare him to Nick Bolton. Wait, where's Nick Bolton's measurables? Let me see something. Nick Bolton was 6 feet, 230. Interesting. Hey, listen, y'all, let me ask y'all a question. And we're talking about Jeremiah Trotter Jr., right? Let me ask y'all a question. I think we all think Nick Bolton is a good player, right? Brian, you don't know who Nick Bolton is? Bro, Nick Bolton is a linebacker for the Chiefs. Nick Bolton is good. Nick Bolton is a good player. He's the starting linebacker for the Chiefs. It was him, Willie Gay. You know what I mean? Nick Bolton is a good player. But let me ask you guys this question. If Jeremiah Trotter can give you Nick Bolton type of production and play, is he worth it? If you know who Nick Bolton is, obviously. I mean, if Jeremiah Trotter could be Nick Bolton, does that change your mind? I'm just curious. Dan Kwan says yes. I don't know, man. It's a risk. It's a risk. At the end of it's a risk. Chin says Trotter Jr. is 4th on my linebacker list. This draft behind Cooper, Wilson, and Colson. No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking 007 if he turns into that. If that's the kind of player, because Nick Bolton was good in his rookie year. But I'm just asking if that's the kind of player. That's the kind of player you hope he can be. But anyway, let's read his strengths and his weaknesses. Let's get to it. Scouting report for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Here are his strengths. It says Trotter Jr. is competitive and plays energetically, often overcoming bigger blockers with his top level motor. He shows good speed and closing burst when blitzing. One of the best coverage linebackers in the draft. Has Fred Warner like traits. Whoa. Wait, what are Fred Warner's measurables? Fred Warner. Let me see something. Okay, listen. Fred Warner is 6'3", though. He's tall. Fred Warner may not be 260, but he's tall. He's 6'3", has length. And that's how he's able to. That's how he's able to be as productive as he is. Fred Warner is 6'3". Jeremiah Trotter is 6 feet tall. That's a bold take by them. That's a bold take by them. That's a really, really, really bold take by them to compare him to Fred Warner like traits. That's very bold. Fred Warner is a good linebacker. He's a very good linebacker. He can cover anybody. Eagle Slayer says he got to eat 10 cheese sticks a day. But anyway, let's keep reading. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is quick to read, run, showing good agility and speed to get past blockers and finish. Experienced in coverage and gets a strong jam on outside receivers. Demonstrates superior eye discipline. Coordination. Effective at disrupting passes. Possesses the range to cover sideline to sideline. Crucial against outside runs. Delivers powerful hits, showcasing his physicality and downhill plays. Excels as a blitzer, utilizing his speed and technique to pressure the quarterback effectively. Has football in his blood, with natural instincts honed from a lineage of NFL talent. Okay, I mean, look, basically what I'm getting from this is he's a super athletic linebacker. He can cover, really good in zone coverage. Sideline to sideline speed is great. Has an ability to keep containment. Plays high effort, high motor guy. But again, 6 feet, 220, 225, whatever his weight is nerve wracking. It says here his weaknesses are Trotter Jr. faces challenges in run defense. Here we go. Trotter Jr. faces challenges in run defense, often struggling to maintain ground against offensive linemen. Shows a tendency to bypass blocks rather than confront them, potentially compromising gap integrity. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Prone to mistiming tackles, leading to inefficiencies in open field scenarios. Displays moments of indecision when faced with complex offensive plays affecting his positioning. Overall physical strength is not elite. Some think he looks like a jacked up safety. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable making this move. I know it's a legacy thing, but I'm not comfortable making this move. Let's look at Peyton Wilson. I know a lot of you guys talk about him. Peyton Wilson. 007, you're an asshole. Add Christian, Luke McCaffrey. All right, let me look. Okay, let me. Okay, y'all keep bringing up Luke McCaffrey. Let me look for him. Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. Where is he? Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. Is he a linebacker? Luke McCaffrey. Where is he? Oh, he's a wide receiver. Okay, sorry. He's a wide receiver. Okay, let me look at that. All right, let's see. Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. Let's find out what page he's on. Okay, he's not on page 1. Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. Not on page 2. Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. There he is. He's on page 3. He's the 26th ranked wide receiver. He looks like a frat boy. What? Are you guys kidding me? Are you guys kidding me right now? 6'2", 198. I like the height. I like the height. I like the size. He went to Rice College. Okay, so it says the role here, slot receiver. Okay, I think one of you guys said that too. I think one of you guys said that. He's a slot receiver. Okay, so 40 time, 4.46. Not bad. Could be better, but not bad. A 36-inch vertical. Not that impressive. Oh, he ran a 4.46, but he also had a 1.5 second 10-yard split. So he gets off quickly, but then he tapers off. He has good acceleration. But he doesn't have great top ends. He doesn't have superior top end speed. But he has good giddy up. He has a solid start. Hey, mama, what's going on? My mom's in the building, so be careful, fellas. Behave. Welcome to the show, Mom. Behave. But no, I definitely will look up the film though. I mean, this is my first time even looking them up. But I'll look up the film. No, I got you guys. I'll check the film out. I'll check his film out. I got you, Twiz. Y'all scared her away already. Damn. Y'all scared her away. Y'all scared her away. All right, Mom. I'll talk to you. Anyway, my man Relative Time Works. My man Relative Time Works with the $5 super. He says, here's the perfect draft scenario. Trade with Green Bay. You mentioned this, I think, yesterday. Trade with Green Bay. The 22 and the 53rd pick for the 25th and the 41. At 25, pick Darius Robinson. At 41, pick Edgerrin Cooper. Darius Robinson. Interesting. I want to address that. Give me a second, Relative Time Works. Thank you so much for donating and investing in the channel, my man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Really appreciate you, my man. Thank you. But I want to address that. I want to look into Darius Robinson next. I'm gonna look him up next. Because I think we looked up Edgerrin Cooper before, but I want to look up Darius Robinson because would Green Bay do that? Would Green Bay do that? Hmm. Would Green Bay do that? You got me thinking. But I want to read Luke McCaffrey's strengths and weaknesses, relative time works. I'm going to double back to this. Thank you so much for donating to the channel, my man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Fitness Warrior says, Tone, you don't like Max Melton? Hey, look, you know, I'm being honest with you guys. Like a lot of these guys, I'm still learning a lot about them because of the fact that I don't watch college. I just don't. I don't watch college football. It's not my main thing. Sorry. But I can look into Max Melton too. So Darius Robinson and Max Melton. I'll look into those guys, but let me finish reading Luke McCaffrey. So, all right. ESPN has him as a 4-star. Okay. Number 1 ranked in the state. Number 4 ranked as position, 20th overall rank. Anyway. Um, Player comparison. Romeo Dobbs, Puka Nakua. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna try to hurry up, you guys. I don't have too much time left in the show. Let me try to hurry up. So, Luke McCaffrey's strengths. It says here, McCaffrey accelerates quickly. Just like I said, McCaffrey accelerates quickly and possesses good straight line speed. He shows solid ball tracking skills and body control downfield, able to adjust to the off-target throw. Often used on deep routes, getting separation down the sideline or over the middle on crossing routes by extending his arms rather than pure speed. He also proved to be a force in catch and run situations, a violent runner who transitions upfield quickly after the catch. McCaffrey has the speed to pick up chunks of yardage once he's broken the first tackle. A savvy, natural pass catcher with reliable hands and very good focus. Snatches the ball out of the air and shows the concentration to make acrobatic catches look easy. He runs precise routes, showing an innate feel for setting up defensive backs to create separation. Shows good sense as a route runner and provides an enormous catch radius over the middle of the field. McCaffrey has soft hands and uses his frame effectively to shield defenders, making him a major threat in the red zone. He's a creative runner with good vision in the open field. He'll contribute as a run blocker on the perimeter. He's also a possible return specialist. Now, okay, he doesn't have many weaknesses. Interesting. It says here, McCaffrey doesn't have the ability as a run blocker or the violent run after the catch. I hate these breakdowns sometimes. I hate these breakdowns. Why do they do this? You know what's so annoying about these scouting reports? They give you all these reasons why you should like the player, right? And then they give you reasons why what they said previously doesn't matter. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, McCaffrey doesn't have the ability as a run blocker or the violent run after the catch ability. But y'all just got finished saying that he can run after the catch. Y'all just got finished saying that. He also had problems with drops when coming back to the action. McCaffrey has some issues against press coverage, sometimes spending too much time hand fighting at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Does not always use his hands to secure deep throws, allowing the ball into his pads and chest. Okay. All right. Now, let me get to the guy y'all was talking about. Darius Robinson, right? Darius Robinson. Let me find him. Darius Robinson. Let's see. Darius Robinson. Where is he? I'm not finding him. Let me try to go to the position. I was trying to be fair. Here he is, Darius Robinson. Okay, got it. Oh, I remember this guy. Yo, I remember this guy. Yes. I remember this guy. Yes. Yo, 6'5", 285. I want that dude here. Yo, yeah. I like this guy. I remember this. I remember him now. I remember this. Okay, let's read it because I'm about to get out of here. All right. He's 6'5", 285, big hands, 35-inch vertical. Wingspan is insane. He ran a 4.9 540. This motherfucker's slow. Anyway. Let's read the strengths of our guy, Darius Robinson. Good point. Relative time works. Good point. Good point. Good point. Greg Miller. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, as Blunt, that's what they're saying, right? I mean, you're not wrong. As Blunt, Chuck Robinson is a better prospect for sure. But I'm curious now about this guy. I'm curious about this guy though. Darius Robinson, edge rusher out of Missouri. It says here, when it comes to his strengths, he exhibits powerful engagement at the point of attack, dislodging opponents with ease. Advanced run defense skills, adept at stacking and shedding blockers to disrupt plays. Effective use of rip and swipe techniques against both run and pass scenarios. He boasts a versatile inside-out pass rush arsenal, making him unpredictable. Heavy hands and strength to move tackles and pressure quarterbacks. Exceptional at setting the edge and playing from the backside. Showcasing athleticism. Possesses significant arm length, utilizing it as a lever to gain advantages. Demonstrates above average change of direction capabilities for his size. Now the weaknesses. Reliance on power moves can limit pass rushing variability and effectiveness. Displays stiffness in lower body, affecting flexibility and edge bending. Lacks a refined pass rush plan, leading to predictability in engagements. Needs improvement in play recognition and control during high intensity moments. First step explosiveness does not align with NFL standards for edge rushers. Hmm. Mm. Mortis. It's funny. He's a big dude though, man. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. 6'5", 285. That's a man right there. That's a man. Can't deny it. All right. Who's the other guy I wanted me to look at? Melton? Was that his name? Who was the other guy? It was Melton, right? What was his name? What was the name of that guy y'all told me about? I say his name was Melton. Max Melton. Yes, Max Melton. Okay, thank you. What position is that? Is he edge rusher? What position is he? So I can find it faster. Is he an edge rusher? Linebacker? What is he? Corner. Okay, thanks. All right, that made it way easier. All right, let's see. Let's find out where he is. Max Melton. Page 2, maybe? There he is, Max Melton. Out of Rutgers. Max Melton out of Rutgers. Yeah, he a cheesing son of a gun, huh? All right. Max Melton, 5'11", 187 pounds out of Rutgers. Okay. Wow, 4.3940. Not bad. Not bad at all. 1.51 10-yard split. Great vertical, great broad jump. He's outside man, press corner. He was invited to the Senior Bowl. Cool, cool, cool. Good strength with the bench press. All right. Let's read the profile, and then I'm getting out of here. I'm tired. All right, here we go. Oh, that's right. It is a search bar up there, isn't it? You're right. It definitely is a search bar up there. Oh, Corey, you missed the movie, man. Hey, y'all, tell Corey he missed the movie. Corey missed the movie. I'm about to get out of here. Anyway, Max Melton, here's his strengths. Elite quick twitch athlete. Put up a 99 percentile broad jump, 94 percentile vertical, and a 4.3940 at the combine. Displays excellent awareness and zone coverage. Able to read the quarterback's eyes and anticipate routes effectively. Physical and aggressive in the run game. Not shying away from contact and demonstrating the ability to disrupt plays in the backfield. I like that. Exhibits a high motor and competitive spirit, consistently giving full effort and displaying tenacity on every play. Strong football skills, capable of making dynamic plays on the football and flipping the field with turnovers. Good size and length, enabling effective press coverage and the ability to contest catches against taller receivers. Instinctive player with keen eyes for diagnosing plays, excels when playing with vision toward the quarterback. Has shown significant improvement year over year, highlighting a strong work ethic and the capacity for continued development at the next level. I like that. I like that. I like guys that I feel like they have a lot to work with. That's what I like to hear that. I like to hear that. That he still has so much more to tap into, and he's learning and getting better every game, every week, every year. I like that. Let's go to the weaknesses now before I get out of here. For Max, this is Max Melton's weaknesses. Rutgers cornerback. At Rutgers, he played corner, outside corner. He was a press corner. But I think I might like him in the slot because of the athleticism. I might send him in different blitz packages. I might get creative with him. But anyway, Max Melton's weaknesses. Technique can sometimes be overly aggressive or sloppy, leading to compromised positions and potential penalties. I can live with that. Can be prone to biting on double moves or getting caught watching the quarterback too long, resulting in missed opportunities to disrupt the play. Needs to improve tackling consistency and angles in run support to maximize effectiveness in the NFL. Footwork and transitions can sometimes be inefficient, indicating areas for technical refinement to enhance coverage skills. So he could be more polished. He could be more polished, but I like what I read though. I like what I read when it comes to Max Melton. I like that. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. But look, you guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. It's always fun. Real quick, I want to shout out all of those who donated today. My man Relative Time Works donated. Terry Hayes donated twice today. Shout out to Terry. Really appreciate him. My man LJ came through with the $20 super chat in Canadian money. Canadian money. Transistor Zen donated to the channel as well. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Alohi DC donated to the channel. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. And I didn't forget my man. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. I didn't forget my man. Last but certainly not least, my OG, S Blunt, has donated to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Really means a lot to me. I definitely do not take it for granted. But make sure you guys smash that like button. It really helps. We have, I think we're at 84 likes right now. So that's pretty cool. We have over 150 people in the live stream, 43 on YouTube, 112 people on the Twitter side. Hey, my Twitter people, don't hesitate to come to the YouTube side as well, man. The YouTube side is fun. The chat is fire. Everyone brings that heat, that fire, and we have fun, man. But I also appreciate you guys for locking in still, nonetheless. I don't take that for granted either. Hey, Mortis, I feel you on that, man. I got something lined up. Hey, Mortis, I feel you. I got something lined up for me, man. For sure. I definitely got something that's gonna get me right after I get off this. That's a fact. That's a fact. But look, y'all, like I always say, I'm grateful for y'all. Even if we agree or disagree. Corey. Corey said YouTube is the hood. That's crazy. But look, even if we agree or disagree, y'all, the reality is the show doesn't exist without you guys. The show doesn't exist without the likes of you locking in every single day. And I'm grateful for that wholeheartedly. So if you guys can, before we get out of here, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the show, especially if you're new. And also, I want to give a shout out to somebody who was locking in, and I was giving him a hard time. I got to find his name though. I was giving him a hard time, and I want to show him some love because he stuck it out, and I got to respect that. I got to respect it. I'm gonna find him before I get out of here. That's a fact. I'm trying to skim through this chat here, but I want to give a shout out to this guy because he stuck around, even though he wasn't really feeling the conversation at one point. He stuck around, and I gave him a hard time earlier, rightfully so. But I appreciate him for sticking around. I'm gonna find him though. I'm not ending the stream until I find him. I'm not in this stream until I find him. Because look, like I said, the show is growing. You guys are a part of this community. You guys are a part of Chalk It Up Sports Mafia. And the content can't grow without the people. The content can't grow without the friction. It just can't. So I appreciate you guys for locking in. Here he is, Sylvan Davis Jr. I want to give a shout out to Sylvan Davis Jr. I do want to give a shout out to Sylvan because he stuck it out. He stuck it out. Sylvan was growing impatient, but he stuck it out. And I'm grateful for Sylvan Davis Jr. because this is how you win people over, right? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. We agree, we disagree, we talk shit, but then we always come back to the fold. And ultimately, look, at the end of the day, I think we're all fans of the Philadelphia Eagles. And we all want this team to do well. We all want the best for them. And we may agree or disagree when it comes to philosophy. we may agree or disagree when when it comes to philosophy, but the reality is, I think we all want the same thing, and we want this team to do well. We want this team to win, and it's straight like that. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II, and you guys were locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.